Welcome to Price Ball. This is Mike. Are you ready to unlock the door to fat loss? Today we're going to talk briefly about Unbound's Unlock, but first, we need to get some in me first because we are needing caffeine. So I'm going to do in 2 scoops. You would get about 300 milligrams of caffeine. I'm about to do about a scoop and a half, 5 grams worth or so. Throw down a little bit of caffeine and then we will get into it 15 minutes later. Spicy mojito. That's a good start. All right, we'll see you in 15 minutes.
Welcome to Price Plow.
All right, we're back. Feeling good here. Now, it is tough. I'm already getting the sweat effect. We'll talk about that. It's tough to make quick videos on these Unbound supplements because there's so many ingredients. I'm gonna do my best. We have a very long blog post on blog.priceloud.com, and we do with the creators of Unbound NutriBio. We do have a business affiliate relationship with them. Coupon code PricePal. Nothing yet on this one, but this product was sent for free in a big old oil drum. What an awesome launch! Look at this stuff, dude. I mean, seriously. So I love this stuff for use anytime. Really, you can use it pre-workout. You can use it as a coffee replacement. It's a powder, so you can kind of titrate your dose as you want. And that's why fat burning powders are more successful lately. If it's like 3 p.m. in the afternoon, you can take a half a scoop and you'll feel good. And so that's kind of where I'm really excited about this. Of course, know your own stimulant tolerance. So right off the bat, we talk about the caffeine, and this is even the caffeine is interesting. Unbound is a very cutting edge product line full of supplement ingredients that weren't necessarily in the NutriBio supplements, but have a lot of like new science coming to them. And NutriBio didn't have a fat burning powder, so here it is right now from Unbound. Caffeine wise, 2 scoops, 300 milligrams. But that's not just a story, because 2/3 of that is regular caffeine anhydrous. That's the standard stuff that we normally feel in supplements. But then they've added 1/3 of it is actually coming from XR delayed release caffeine. So people are loving this when they're working out. Other people who are high like caffeine metabolizers who can just metabolize caffeine real quick are loving it because it's delayed release. It's not time release, it's delayed release. You drink it, you feel that caffeine anhydrous, and then like 45 minutes, an hour later, boom, you get another like blossom of caffeine. And so that's kind of the effect that you're gonna feel here. And then we have a big smattering of many different pathways hit to actually help you burn fat or give you the tools that you need to burn fat. The first tool of which is gonna make the majority of like the powder, not the majority, but a lot of the powder comes from acetyl L-Carnitine, which is a form of L-Carnitine that also can give you some nootropic feel-good effects. Now, L-Carnitine is an amino, my mouth is watering, I'll talk about that. But L-Carnitine is an amino acid that helps your body transport fatty acids to the mitochondria so that you can burn them. If you're low on L-Carnitine, things ain't gonna work right. And that's why we always endorse a diet high in carnitine, such as a meat-based diet. But even for people who eat meat, if you're training hard or you're, for whatever reason, carnitine deficient, it's good to supplement more carnitine. We have 2 grams of L-Carnitine here, which is where the research generally lands. Acetyl L-Carnitine can cross the blood-brain barrier, giving us an extra effect. So I love ALCAR, as we call it, in here. And in 2 scoops, you get pretty much that clinical dose. Then comes the Unbound Burn blend. And there's no proprietary blends here, of course, but it's an open formula. And it's led by MitoBurn L-BAIBA from NNB Nutrition, 500 milligrams in 2 scoops. And this is an ingredient we've talked about a ton on this channel. It's a non-protein amino acid that's actually more of a signal. It's like the exercise signal. When you take this, when you start working out, your body breaks down L-valine, the branching amino acid, and starts telling the rest of your muscles and the rest of your body that things are happening, we're exercising, we need to get these processes going. Well, if you supplement L-BAIBA, your body, the same thing kind of happens. Your body is notified that exercise processes are beginning, start to do things such as burn more fat, protect the muscle tissue, protect the bone tissue, protect the kidney tissue. There's a whole lot of things, tons and tons of animal studies coming out here. We love this stuff. And for me personally, it seems that I get my heart rate up to level a little bit quicker, and my like body kind of loosens up a little bit quicker when I'm using MitoBurn. So huge fan of that. And then here's where the sweat comes in. GBB, gamma Butyrobetaine Ethyl Ester, just say GBB. It's a precursor to carnitine, which pushes your body towards making more carnitine on its own, which is always good, as we said. Well, this actually, in 50 milligrams, it seems like a small dose, but it's a pro-carnitine ingredient. that also makes people sweat a lot. So you get a like really good thermogenic effect, and some people love it. After that, we have another thermogenic from Grains of Paradise. Now, Grains of Paradise is kind of like it's from the ginger family, really good tasty ingredient. But what it does is it helps, it's thermogenic, but it also helps you increase energy expenditure, and it helps with like the beiging or the browning of your white fat cells. And those brown fat cells are the more thermogenic ones that put off more energy. White fat cells are like the energy consumer. Brown fat cells are like the energy spender, or the energy producer almost, and they're more thermogenic and they're more active. They're brown because they have more mitochondria in them, and that's something we're going to talk about, is getting that mitochondria producing power and getting it out of your body and everything, helping you break down more fat, more energy, and that's what's happening with Unbound. Next we get to L-Tyrosine. 500 milligrams of a dose isn't a huge dose. If you'd like a huge dose, Unbound has Unload. The pre-workout has got 3 grams of the stuff. This is great. Normally talk about the focus you get, more norepinephrine, epinephrine, dopamine can get created from taking L-Tyrosine, and that's true. There's also, like, if you're sleep deprived, great ingredient, good focus, all that. What we don't always talk about is that this is very necessary for thyroid hormone production as well. So look into L-Tyrosine. Also, consider your iodine supplementation. Are you using iodized salt or those fancy sea salts that don't have iodine? That's important for the thyroid as well. We're not going to talk about that here, but just something to think about. So L-Tyrosine is going to give a little bit more kick for the hormone, for the thyroid hormone. One of those things, if the thyroid's not working, you're not going to be working too well either. So very important. Now after that, we have one of our favorite new ingredients, and Unbound was the first brand to use it in both Unload and Unlock. RhodioPrime 6X from NNB Nutrition again. This is a high salidroside, feel-good rhodiola extract, 6% salidroside, which has incredible nootropic and anti-fatiguing effects. Now in terms of diet, it's really more about like the serotonin production and the feel-good effect. And what we're starting to see is that there's some data showing that rhodiola consumption is better for people. It helps people like chill out and stop binge eating as much. It doesn't stop you, but it seems to like lessen amount of binge eating and help with appetite suppression on top of all of its other feel-good effects. I think a lot of it is modulated because of the serotonin boost, but either way, a lot of people feeling better here don't get like out of control eating. And so that could be a great effect. Either way, the mood enhancement is fantastic. And then after that, we have another very unique ingredient from New Live Science this time, InnoSlim. And this comes from astragalus and Panax noda ginseng. And we talk about the New Live Science's ingredients on this channel all the time. And this is the one that's using the ginsenosides and the astragalosides to help improve GLUT4 activity. And that's going to allow us, first off, there's a couple things happening. We're going to reduce the amount of carbohydrate that gets turned into blood sugar in the bloodstream, but it's also increasing insulin sensitivity and promoting better like insulin and better blood sugar transport once it does make it to the bloodstream. But we're also like lowering the amount of blood sugar that's getting generated here. And so there's a ton of really cool effects with InnoSlim. And in general, we're seeing like slightly lower blood sugar numbers as well as increased insulin sensitivity. And that's important because if you have a ton of sugar in your blood, you ain't gonna be burning fat, you're burning sugar. And so we're very big on that. And this is one of those ingredients that works in that mechanism and far more. And in the blog post, we have several blog posts about this. It gets really into the weeds, but they've chosen the ginsenosides and astragalosides that work for weight loss here. And fantastic ingredients from New Live Science. They're very complicated. Check out the blog post. And so after that, we have our caffeine, which we talked about. And then there's cocobutyrol. Now this comes from theobromine cocoa. We don't know exactly what's in cocobutyrol. Gotta assume there's at least some theobromine, which is kind of like a cousin to caffeine. Feels good, gives a little bit of alertness, a little bit of vigilance, a milder caffeine, so to speak. But given the name, cocobutyrol, they're going after a little bit of something else too. And I think there might be a little bit of a beta-2 agonist, kick up the fight or flight response, free up the fatty acids just a little bit. This is not clenbuterol, but the name is kind of going after similar effects of beta-2 agonism. We don't know exactly how much is theobromine and how much is other constituents, but there's a lot of really good stuff pertaining to, of course, insulin sensitivity in the cocoa extracts. And this is an ingredient that seems like good when we're dealing with like body recomposition. So I think there is a little bit of beta-2 agonism here that's happening, but we would love to see studies on this ingredient specifically. Cocoa's got a lot of really good stuff here. And then finally, we have 10% fucoxanthin coming from Laminaria japonica, and fucoxanthin being a seaweed. This is actually hitting the beta-3 agonism angle, so we have different pathways hitting to help ourselves break down fatty acids and transport blood sugars into the muscle cells as well and get them out of the bloodstream in general, so we can get back to burning fat, but get them into the muscles, not into the fat. And that's what one of these ingredients do. It helps, also works on the mechanism, same as grains of paradise and the BAIBA, is that we're working on getting it out of the white fat cells, and we're trying to kick up the brown fat cell production. This is going to help prevent storage of the white fat cells. It is anti-lipogenic. It is going to help you prevent creating new fat stores. But if you're taking a fat burner and you're eating so much that your body wants to create new fat cells, well, you might be doing something a little bit wrong there. So obviously this always comes along with proper diet and exercise. And this is an ingredient, this is a supplement, especially with the thermogenics inside. If you like to sweat, taking a pre-workout is awesome. And if you do want to add some pumps, you basically can't go any better than what's in Unbent from Unbound as well. We have a video talking about that. Hopefully that's good enough. I'm feeling good, as you can tell, and I do have, I think you can see it. I'm starting to sweat. I always start to sweat here, but there's a little bit something extra when you have that GBB inside. So get ready for it and enjoy. The only flavor I've had is the mojito flavor, and it is mojito. We've had spicier. It's got a little bit of spice from that Grains of Paradise. Don't get me wrong, but I have had overwhelmingly spicier drinks in this niche, and Unbound did a great job of kind of masking the spicy flavor, and it's mostly mojito. Can't talk about the other flavors that I haven't had them yet. Maybe later. Subscribe to the channel and check out the blog post if you want to go way deeper. Trying to make this video a little bit quicker for y'all. Let me know how I did in the comments, and feel free to ask any questions and check out that blog post because there's like 82 citations there. So thanks for watching. Priceflow.com/unbound is where you can check it out.
Welcome to Priceflow.